Thanks for your company this afternoon. Anti-bullying campaigner Clare McCann has warned world-first Malaysian laws where parents can be held liable for their children's actions could put vulnerable children at risk unless root causes are also addressed. Joining us on the debrief today, Annabelle Brett from Mix FM on the Sunshine Coast and Ben O'Shea from the Nightly in Perth. Good afternoon to both of you. Look, these are quite extraordinary laws in Malaysia. They would hold the parents responsible for their kids if their kids are found to be bullies, particularly at school. Classes being forced on the parents, fines of up to $85,000. Annabelle, is this going too far? Should parents really be criminally held responsible for their kids' actions?
There's no denying that more needs to be done, but I'm not sure parents are the answer because, as Claire has said, she's concerned that parents that bully usually raise bullies, and putting the responsibility back onto them when they're already volatile potentially with their children is only going to do more damage. It starts in the classroom, and I'm not saying by any means that teachers aren't doing enough. I think they're doing a hell of a lot, but they don't have the resources, they don't have the support, they barely have the support to be able to manage the amount of special needs children they have in this country. More support in classrooms. We can't have one teacher to 35 children and expect them to be able to manage a series of learning disabilities and also bullying on top of that. There has to be more in the classroom.
Ben, it feels like something like this wouldn't get up in Australia.
Yeah, well, look, I think the Malaysian justice system has the death penalty. They cane people. They have Sharia law on the books. So I don't know if we should be looking at the Malaysian justice system as the model that we need to follow. I agree with AB, though. Something needs to be done because this is a huge scourge on young people in Australia. We know suicide rates are a big issue. I guess my concern when it comes to punishing the parents of bullies is that it will probably just make the bullies even more careful about hiding their bullying and make sure it never comes to light, because they know they're going to cop it when they get home in an environment that has probably created their bullying tendencies in the first place. We know hurt people. So it's how you fix that root problem, though, is something that I don't think these laws in Malaysia are going to fix. I certainly don't think we've fixed them here in Australia. It's a tough problem to solve.
Yeah, well, there's got a lot of work ahead. Okay, moving on. Performative reading is on the rise, with a new survey revealing Australians are using books as accessories to appear more intelligent or to help score a date, with apparently Melburnians the most likely to use a book as a prop. It used to be dogs in a Tinder profile. Ben, have you ever used anything like this to try and score a date back in the day?
It comes as zero surprise to me that it's Melburnians that are the worst at performative reading. Look, like just most recently, I had to read The Odyssey before Christopher Nolan's film came out. I was sitting there in cafes flicking through my copy of The Odyssey. It did me no favours in terms of attracting the opposite sex. No one would listen to me talk about it, but maybe that's because it's a 3,000-year-old poem. I'm not sure.
Annabelle, do you think it does work? Do you think if you see someone with a book that it makes them more attractive?
I can't judge Melbourne people. I'm shocking. I read books so that I can be that person at dinner parties that's like, oh, well, the book was much better than the film or the TV show. I have to be that guy. I don't judge it. Look, if we're getting more books into people's hands, whatever, if it has to be in audio form, whatever it needs to be. I will say, and shout out, at my radio station, we do the Spicy Book Club, and that one is popping off. So if you want people to read more, just make more spicy books.
Okay, all right. Get the romance novels out. Finally, a pub in Sydney South has been slammed for charging extra for chicken salt, with the menu listing a $5 charge for non-members, $3 for members to add the seasoning. Annabelle, I don't think this flies.
No, absolutely not. I think that they have felt the wrath of Australia because apparently they've now removed it. If I'm paying $5 for chicken salt, I want the chicken to come and shake my hand before I eat the meal. That is abominable. And even, I have to say, if they are in the process of changing their menus, that particular establishment of which I will not name, your sauce prices are also obscene and un-Australian. But we let this happen. We gatewayed by letting fish and chip shops charge $2 for those plastic tiny little sachets of tomato sauce. We opened the floodgates. It's our own fault. We've got to scale it back before it's too late.
Yeah, Ben, what do you reckon? Shouldn't it just be like a shaker on the side and you can use it yourself, or get that big tomato sauce bottle and share it around?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what this salt is made from. Is it those fancy chickens that won the blue ribbon at the Royal Show? I have no idea how they can justify $5 for chicken salt. It should be an inalienable Australian right to have chicken salt. You should apply it liberally to hot chips at any opportunity. Look, if we need the Australian Chicken Salt Bay to promote this idea, I'm more than willing to be that guy. But chicken salt should be free. It's for everybody, and it's un-Australian otherwise.
I can guarantee when I was living in London, there was a strong underground market of Australians trading chicken salt. Hey, Ben, Annabelle, so good to see you both. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Hugh.